that? See that?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Real Talk with Just for Girlfriends. This is our final show for the 2021 season, and we are so excited. It's been a year, hasn't it, ladies?
A whole
It
year,
it's been an
2021 gone.
amazing year.
Amazing year. So, what we have in store for you today, it's going to be like a fireside chat with your girlfriends. This time of year can be difficult for a lot of people, and it's hard to get a counselor. It's hard to get on that schedule. So we have some alternative ways where your girlfriends can help you get through some tough times. I know mine have. So before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Michelle Skinner. I have been a member of Just for Girlfriends for a little over 4 years now. I also serve on the board of directors. I manage all of Just for Girlfriends social media sites. So you'll see our sites running across the bottom of the screen. Please come on Facebook, on Instagram, LinkedIn, follow us. We're having some fun over there. I'd love to interact with you a little more there. Robin, please introduce yourself.
I am Robin McFarland, a board member of J4G. Its very first official member as well. And it has been an amazing, very quick year, ladies, I would have to say. So I'm up for chatting today.
Right.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Angelique David, the founder and CEO of Just for Girlfriends. For those who are new to our show, Just for Girlfriends was formed on the premise that women are often so busy taking care of everybody and everything that we forget about ourselves. So that's where J4G comes in. Our mission is to help you embrace self-care and self-preservation by providing you with engaging experiences, a mighty sisterhood that's across the country. We host live events in the Chicagoland area and the DMV area. We are soon to be traveling to Atlanta, also probably somewhere in Texas and Ohio. So we are expanding pretty rapidly. We'd love for you to join and be part of our Just for Girlfriends. You can go to the website scrolling below, click the join button and join. It's as simple as that. No application process, etc.
Right. And Just for Girlfriends, it has really been a lifeline. And in a minute, as we talk through some of the issues that we have had to deal with, over the past year, how I rely on my girlfriends to get me through some tough times, will really understand the benefit of having what Angelique calls the mighty sisterhood. So, ladies, we all know that, therapy works. We do know that. But also, since the pandemic hit, it has been hard to get on a therapist calendar. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, it's hard to, people aren't accepting new patients. Absolutely.
It's hard. Right. So what are you to do?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think you got to do something.
Yeah, speaking of how hard it is, someone I know tried to get to therapist, and the questions were pretty much, are you thinking of committing suicide? And if the answer was no, then they were like, we can't really take you. So they really were only taking people in emergency type situations. Right. So to your point, you still need to talk to somebody. What do you do?
Yeah. You do. I mean,
and I know when I was inquiring about someone new in my area, it was pre-holiday season. So it wasn't even, I know holiday season, it gets really tight on scheduling and getting in new, but this was probably spring, early summer. So they have been booked. I will also say, I was looking for my demographic as well. So I was looking for a female that was Black, and that was extremely hard to find.
And that always has been the case, even before, everybody had been trying to get there, because there was a time there was a stigma, so saying there still probably is a little bit. People used to tell you, go pray, go to church, go pray about it. I think now, people are more accepting of, having that independent third party to talk to is great.
Yeah.
I can tell you what has helped me get through.
No, I was going to say to your point, because you make a really, really important point about the stigma. And I want to make sure that we say to our viewers, that's why I'm really excited about today's show, is because all of us have successful careers. We are on the show. People see us. We are maybe in social media, but we are people. And everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, what socioeconomic status you come from, where you grew up, where you were raised, what side of town you live in, how
Yep.
hard you're supposed to be. Everybody goes through stuff and everybody has problems, no matter who you are. And so today, that's what we want to do, is kind of talk about what we've been going through this year. Please add in the comments, and let's have real talk and help each other about what we've all experienced, because it's been a tough 18 months.
Yeah,
it has been so hard. And I tell you, what has also happened is, issues that you had, you may have sort of brushed them away. It's built up. So over this past year, everything has gotten much bigger, and let's address it. And I can tell you, having a crew, having women in your circle that you trust, it is a lifesaver, literally, or it has been for me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's just get right into it. Who wants to kick it off?
I'll talk about one of the things. If you're just talking about some of the things I've been going through, and it kind of goes with the therapist as well, because I couldn't find one. Right, I moved to a new area a couple years back, had someone in my old area, new area, couldn't find someone. So what I went to was talking to some girlfriends, some other girlfriends, probably you guys too, and I found an acupuncturist. And it was really, in the 18 months, just dealing with working from home, remote 100%. I was remote before, or hybrid, or traveling, but I move around like most of us. We like to get out, be about, do things, right? So there was a level of stress that just came with being in the house, as well as we were in a pandemic that we had no idea about. Also, no vaccine at the time. What do you do, right? There was only so much walking in my neighborhood that I could do. I was limiting myself with the amount of people that I was interacting with. Even you all, I know we would talk all the time, but we weren't physically seeing each other for a very long time. I remember I went by Michelle's house. She peeped through the screen. I slid something in her door, and then I went back to the car, right? Like,
that's so true.
It was that way. So with that, just the times, being in the home, there was a level of anxiety, a level of stress that I had to deal with, right? So somebody told me about acupuncturist. So I found an acupuncturist, and right, we are used to Western medicine, but this is not normally something in Western medicine.
It's an alternative, and I want to hear more about that.
Yeah. And it was an acupuncturist that was a referral to me, and you could go to him and talk to him about what are you having trouble with, and it was a holistic approach about, are you sleeping enough hours? Do you have some pain? I also had a foot break right at the beginning, right before the pandemic hit. So my body was actually still healing from that as well, which was causing some stress. And so I was going to him weekly to try to figure out. He helped with blood pressure. He helped with stress. He helped with anxiety. He would take my vitals. I was needled up from the top of my head to the tips of my toes. However, it was an hour that I was taking for myself. First of all, to love on myself and say, Robin, all right, like, you cannot go on the way that you are going on, right?
Very important.
You have to do something else. And what can you do? So I was going to him faithfully every week. It was about a 40-minute ride there. So I had some quiet time there. We would get in there. It's an hour in the room with the needles in there with great music on, and you get to relax. And after about 4 weeks, I could feel a difference and that sort of thing. So I was just looking for things to say. First of all, to acknowledge this is not normal. Things are not normal. How do you get back to normal, or what the new normal is, Robin, and how are you going to thrive in this? And went ahead and did it. And then I would call, I think I would text, get on the phone with Angelique, Sherelle, whoever, and be like, yep, I went. He said, I'm doing better today. I'm doing better this week. Right. Like, it's
great.
Working this week. But there was, I think, the acknowledgement that there is stress that you have to manage. And it's not
And don't beat yourself up for feeling
don't beat
it.
yourself up.
Right.
There was nothing more I could do about it because I was soaking in the tub, I was walking, I was Netflixing, I was cleaning the house, but there was still something.
There's only so much of
wasn't
that, right?
Right. So you
Right.
have to go get some professional help. And I will say an acupuncturist. And then after I did it once, I started doing more research on it, looking at how professional athletes do it. Others do it as alternatives when women are going through menopause, different ways that acupuncture is helpful for you in a more holistic way. There was also some herbs and things that he would have me go to the store and get and drink tea at night and that, but it was more of a holistic approach, something new, something I hadn't thought about before the pandemic. Right.
Yeah.
But it
was that something that insurance would cover, or is that something you had to pay for out of pocket?
So it depends on who you go to. My guy, I could use my FSA. I would just use my FSA card for that. Yeah. But some insurances do pay for that as well. So it was really nice. And it would just happen to be that there was a woman, she said, as she was going through, I guess, perimenopause, and then she was moving more into that menopause area. She said she just didn't want to be on medication. And so she was looking for another approach, and she found this guy. She had been going to him for years, and she told me, she said, Robin, it changed my life. She goes, then after I got through menopause, it was more about I have an ache here, or I'm not sleeping well, or I feel something is a little off here. Can you help me out with that sort of thing? And so it was a great referral. I appreciate her for that. And he is on my speed dial for whenever I need him. You know, you go as often, but it was something, again, that I had to say, this is not okay. I can't fix it. What do I do? Right.
And I think
he's very open about it. Yeah.
That's a huge step. That first step of acknowledging I need help getting through this. Yeah. I love that. And I love the alternatives. I mean, there's so many different ways to skin a cat, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to get that referral from you.
I will. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that was so. I'll tell you, I have, now that I reflect back on the year, I've been dealing with a lot. Thank you guys for listening to me snap, bringing me back down to reality, and just letting me know that it is okay. Like, this is not you should be a little bit off, put off kilter with this, because I can tell you the first thing that I have been going through, and I've been dealing with this for years, but like I said, with the pandemic and, our way of life changing, it really hit home, is a long distance marriage. Now, my husband lives in New York. I live in Chicago, and it's always been that way. And we have 2 children. So, and once the pandemic hit, he couldn't even come as often, as he was coming. And over the past 2 years or 18 months or however long, like you said, we've been in this new normal, it has really been affecting me that I am pretty much making decisions for me and my children alone, or trying to manage them and their mental health while maintaining mine alone. I mean, so it really has built up. And Rami just made me remember that I also am going through menopause, so that may be a bigger, play a bigger role in why I thought I was going to lose it. I was like, okay, it's just too much. It's coming at me, too much, especially with the kids who they really didn't understand this pandemic. It was like they came home from school on Friday, like, we're not going back,
right.
Dying. I mean, the news was very, very scary. And I noticed that they were just acting out, and that it was, mostly because of fear, uncertainty, and them acting out on us being, in these close quarters for months and months on end.
Yes.
It was tough. Man, was it tough. And I can tell you, even now that we're integrating back into society, it's still hard with me trying to just negotiate. One's the oldest one is a boy. The younger one is a girl, and they're almost 4 years apart. So they have totally different friends groups. Their activities totally different.
Yeah.
And they both want to do stuff. So I'm I'm in Uber for most of the day, every day of
Yeah.
the week.
Yeah.
And I'm working full time, and working with Just for Girlfriends, which is a passion project, one that I want to do. So, it's like, how am I juggling all of these balls and, keeping them, in the air without falling? And frankly, feeling like I should be able to do this. So that is increasing my stress level is to, Michelle, why are you tripping? Basically, why are you tripping? Just get it done like you have been for years. But
But
it just all
This is not
and,
normal. This is
and
not
it's
right.
but even in a normal situation, what you have is stressful. You've got 2 kids. You just said husband lives out of town, not able to come as much. That's stressful, and it's okay to acknowledge that it's stressful, and then figure out, okay, it's stressful. And so what you always tell me is, okay, well, let's figure out how we're gonna work through it. Let's what is there? How can we make it better? What can we change? What and then just listening to each other. Because a lot of times people think when you talk to them that you're looking for a solution. A lot of times it's not a solution. You just need an ear. You just need to vet that out, to get it out, and then just have your sister say, girl, it's okay. I love you. I got you, whatever you need.
Yeah.
But it's not always about, okay,
Absolutely.
let's find a solution.
Yeah.
That is, that is so key. And it brings me back to our very first show. We talked about self-care is not selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So used to putting everybody's needs first. Everybody needs a little piece of me, to where there just was nothing left for me. So I love that show. I love the idea. And that's one of the reasons why Just for Girlfriends is so important to me, because it makes it easy, right? To put myself first at least once a month. And we have multiple opportunities, for doing that. And it has really, really helped. But, talking to you guys has really been a lifesaver. So thank you. And the fact that y'all be like, Michelle, crazy.
And I love crazy
our
piece
group
of
chats. Our group chats are like the highlight of my day.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can hop in real quick and hop out for a laugh, or like you said, to vent or whatever.
Yep.
It really, really has helped. And I'm learning to do it more and more, but just understanding that, okay, these are issues. This is something that, you should be, feeling a little bit uncomfortable about, and you need help, and just acknowledging that, like I said, not necessarily providing a solution, but just able to hear that, because I respect you guys so much, so sharp, so smart. And I'm like, okay, they get it. So, that right there takes the burden off, because part of the burden
and having the non-judgmental group of friends that you can just, the safe space. It's important to be safe. And that's one of the things that we have tried to do, not only in our friend group, but within Just for Girlfriends. That's what we always say. It's a safe space. You take off all your hats. It's safe, because we all are going through stuff and we all need something, but it's got to be, if you feel like you're going to say something and someone going to be like, oh, she crazy. Oh, why she got that man over there? Oh, why she doing? But as a place where you can say whatever, and people just love you for who you are and where you are, love you where you are at that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it's so important. I see Barbara Joy Jones Parks. She says community matters.
Yes.
It really does. Your circle, if you don't feel like you say you have that safe space, or if they are tearing you down, you don't want to speak up because you think they are going to look down on you. You need a new crew.
Yeah.
That reminds me of our Toxic People show. That was one of my favorite shows, because that was really true. We talked about having those people in your circle, that community that is there for you, and how when you have toxic people in that community, it messes everything up. And you've got to be okay with kicking them out of your, what did I say, your VIP section. You got to get them out of there.
Get them out. Also, they go back to the regular seats.
Right. Or out of the stadium if they acting up too much.
You get a general admission seat. Yeah. That also, the Friends one we talked about, our friend show as well, talked about in certain times friends revealing themselves. or friends being there just for a moment. And I can't even imagine over the last 18 months, a lot of people have probably experienced that, of who is part of your community and who is not, or who's in your circle and who is not, or maybe even picked up some new folks too, right? But having what a friend is, right? Having a true friend.
That was a great show. I just love that
was a great
one
show.
so much. Because you hear people say no new friends, but that's not true.
That's
you
not
come
true.
across the right one, and it's like you've been friends forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I see we got Ivana in the chat, which is one of our new. Well, she's been with us for a year, but that is Ivana is amazing. Hey, Ivana, she's one of our girlfriends. You could call her and talk real talk all day long, and she'll have you cracking up.
Yes, and she has a mighty community. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, finding, the right people to, just like you said, lend an ear. Like, I need your ear. And somebody who's not gonna be like, somebody who really genuinely cares about you. Like, okay, tell me what's up, what's going on,
what's going on. I had one girlfriend tell me during the pandemic, she just sent a text, and it's not, we don't talk all the time, but we would text often. I met her at another company, and we just became pretty fast friends. But one day, and I knew it was just her and her dog, one day she just sent a text, and she was like, I need to talk to somebody. Like, I am here. I remember sitting out in the parking lot. I was driving home. I pulled over. I probably talked to her for 3 hours in the car. And she was like, I just needed to talk to somebody, right? Like, I just need somebody who's going to talk to me, laugh with me, joke with me, tell me we can talk about show, whatever it is, because I just need somebody for that moment. And it made me feel good as a friend, right? To say, she felt comfortable calling me and saying, I need help right now, or I need a friend right now. And she thought of me, right? And so I was honored to be a friend at that moment as well.
That says a lot. I'm sure people have unveiled themselves, people who are really friends and people who just wanted something from you. You know what I mean? So thank you, Lynn. We appreciate you,
Lynn. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you tuning in.
So you all have been absolute blessing for me this year, because you all know I'd be all over the place. But the one big thing for me that was really, you laughing because
I already know.
busy.
The one thing for me was having a hysterectomy during a pandemic. So during this year, and I will share this with the audience, I had fibroids, as a lot of Black women do. It's an issue in our community. I'd already had them removed once. And then during the pandemic, like everybody was worried about weight. So I got on the weight loss, started losing weight. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm seeing like lumps in my stomach because my stomach was going flatter. So I went to the doctor and they were like, oh yeah, your fibroids are like you're 25 weeks pregnant. And I was like, wait, what?
Wow. So they really grew, right?
They had really grown, and you couldn't see it before until I lost some of the weight. So it was one of those things where they're like, you shouldn't wait. It's, do you want any more kids? And I'm like, HE double hockey sticks, no. So I'm done with kids. And so it was at the point where the option was have a hysterectomy. We'll keep your ovaries so that you don't go through menopause. But just the idea of going into a hospital, and it's a major surgery. So just the idea of going to a hospital during a pandemic, you can't take everybody that you want to take. You can take one person, you got to get COVID tested. All procedures are different, and know that I was going to be under. And right up to that surgery, I was so stressed out. Like, I knew I wasn't going to make it. I was like, okay, if I die, y'all watch the kids, please.
Right.
Don't bring no woman in my house. So,
but all that straight before you go under, right?
All that's great. But I can say all you, Sherelle, everybody was amazing. Just, there were times that I would go on my 2-hour walks and I just say, I need to talk. And I just talk it out. So thank you both, because I could not have gotten through that without loving friends.
Absolutely. I remember that time. And I was like,
Absolutely.
oh my gosh, I just, wish you didn't have to go
We
into the hospital, all those
Yeah.
germs. So yeah, we had
Yeah.
to hold
Right.
hands on that
We had
one.
a private chat on that one.
Yeah, we had
Where we
to,
going?
right.
Where's that?
Yeah, we
Where's
had to
she
hold
at?
hands.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
And I
yeah,
remember when I came out, Jerry was like, okay, I need to tell them you out because y'all was on them.
what's that? Because I think it took a little longer. I was like,
Well,
okay,
because
we haven't
we were
heard.
like, Jerry, she's told us what time, Jerry, and this is not the right time. And so I don't know what you're doing, but you need to provide an
Exactly.
update.
I need to know. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
friends are the family you can choose.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, very, very, very important to your mental well-being. So,
Yeah.
as an alternative to a therapist, which we aren't knocking,
Yep.
the girls can really help you get through. And that's what we have done for each other. And hopefully we've done for you, those that have watched our shows over the past year. We were trying to drop some knowledge, some tips, some tools, to help you get through, this year. So hopefully we have been able to do that. But and all of us, like you said, we are just like you. You know what I mean? These are real issues, right?
Real issues.
These are real issues that we've had to deal with. Yeah. And just so happy, like you said, to be able to talk it out. And Ron, you brought up a good point that I found interesting, and it's so true when you were referring to our friends, our friendship show. That certain friends are there for a season and for a reason. And, you can't let that stress you out too, trying to hold on too long. Yes. So it's sort of tied in with the toxic relationships, because not all toxic relationships start out that way.
That's right.
Or you may not even recognize it till it's very, very toxic. So
absolutely.
You should go back and watch that show if you missed it. All of our shows are saved on Black Doctor, and they're also on YouTube. Black Doctor's YouTube channel. We have our own Real Talk with Just for Girlfriends channel under the Black Doctor YouTube channel. Check it out, because when people are very, very toxic, of course, that's easy to recognize, but there are subtle signs that it's headed in that direction, or that warning signs or red flags. I would recommend you checking that out, because that could be a significant stressor. You know what I mean? Yes. Being in a relationship, whether it's family or friends, or sometimes it's somebody you've been friends with for a while. And like I said, as you're going through these things, they're not in your corner. You need to recognize that and be okay letting go, because that's hard too.
Yeah. Letting go can be the hardest.
It is hard. It is so hard. Whether it's a man or a friend, we've all seen or been
a job. Yeah, I had to let go of a job. I let go of a job recently, right? During the pandemic. A job that I loved, quite honestly. Loved the job, enjoyed the job, but found something better, right? And it's interesting. My husband did the same, I think, during the pandemic. I think my daughter did it. Yeah, it's been a lot of transition. Yeah.
I held on to a job. I know 3 years too long. It was probably 3 years, 3 years, like how these people are not treating me or not respecting me. And you just keep I'm gonna try to turn this around. I should have moved on from there. Finally, I was like, okay, this is not, not where I need to be. Yeah. And now I have my own firm and I love it. The flexibility and, and my clients. So you just,
because it's human nature to sometimes fear change. We fear change. It's human nature. You don't know what's on the other side, and you always think the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. But sometimes that's not true. And you can only see what progress is and what's out there. I was listening to somebody, I forget who it was, but they said, have enough faith and courage in yourself to understand that whatever's out there is going to be just as good for you. Don't think that you have to sit in darkness or whatever it is because you're afraid that nothing else is out there better for you. Know that there's a million things out here, whether it's a million jobs, people, friends. There's going to be somebody out there that's good for you.
That's right.
That's true. And didn't we talk about that in our Law of Attraction show?
Oh, we did.
I need to go back and watch that one again. That's powerful.
That was a good show. You
have to trust that the universe has what you need. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's good for people as they start to, I don't know if people do New Year's resolutions or they're trying to plan goals for 2022. That Law of Attraction show was really good about, attracting, putting kind of out in the universe and having things be attracted to you. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I learned there is that the law of attraction is a law, just like the law of gravity.
Yes.
Like we know we're going to be held in place due to gravity. The law of attraction is real.
It's the same.
Yep. That manifest. Yep.
Yeah. Another thing that I have dealt with and feel like I'm still dealing with in one of our shows is I'm actually going back. So now that we're kind of in pandemic, not pandemic, whatever we are,
whatever it
is actually reintroducing myself to the world. Not that they don't see me, but I don't trust a lot of people with this COVID stuff. And yet, if you are an executive, if you're corporate, if you're anything, you are required to go back to stuff. You have to start doing this. And these people out here, I mean, I've had to go to conferences with unmasked people.
Yeah.
I've had to go to business dinners you name it. I've had to do it now. And so I didn't realize it was causing me so much anxiety. I normally just did it and it was no big deal. But I remember walking into, this was probably about a month or two ago, I walked into we had 500 plus people at a conference and everybody was unmasked. And I was like,
that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So being where you're terrified of being near people to suddenly you have to be back in this, that's been, and I don't know that I'm completely over it yet, but that's been heart palpitations. Exactly.
Right.
That's been a little interesting in working through that and realizing it's okay to have those feelings. And so what I've done is I try to strategically, when I'm in these environments, I strategically sit in places where there aren't people 360 around me. So if I'm at the end table or if I'm in the back of the room, I have to do whatever makes me feel comfortable. Because one thing we learned about COVID is it's important to make sure you understand your comfort level. Yep. And COVID was so serious, you had to make decisions for yourself. Yep. Not you had to make sure what's your comfortability. And so I think that's one thing that, getting back into the world has been interesting because I'm cool going to dinner with y'all my bubble. I know about that. But when the bubble was some random people that was on 5 planes all week long, I was at a business dinner and this guy next to me, because it's a dinner, so where I'm at, he was like, I had to travel to 5 cities today. And I was like,
he picked up something. I mean, that is
well, and there's a level of PTSD with that. I had a husband that's on the plane all week, every week. So because I remember we were trying to define a bubble, and I distinctly remember Angelique saying, "You cannot be in my bubble."
No,
you had
too much going on.
You had too much going on,
right? But I have
we can FaceTime.
Right. My husband didn't stop traveling during COVID and people, it's just my life. And I had to be okay with that. Right. So you
had to.
Whatever's comfortable. Even now going out, wearing them. I was just somewhere where nobody had a mask on. Nobody. So I was like, I have to wear the mask. And I got some stares and some rolled eyes and whatever. And you're just like, I mean, it is serious. I've known people with COVID and still dealing with COVID. It is very serious. And so there is a level of PTSD. There's a couple articles on it about COVID and what's comfortable for you. But like you said, we're back in the office. We are back traveling. I was traveling during COVID for work, right? So having people wanted meetings on, this was kind of funny, on a golf course so it could be outside. And then, but they had to cut the grass, so the people were out there. So we'd have to stop every 30 minutes or so because the landscapers were out there. But people wanted to be together, right? So the world is certainly moving and shaking, and we have to figure out how to deal with. So there's another reason to be at the acupuncturist, and to go get my booster shots, right, and all of that kind of stuff. But you're right. It was a time where you really had to say what is good for me and not for everybody else, and be okay with that. And that hurts.
Well, remember our very first show We talked about the vaccine. That was our very first show. Was about vaccines. That was January. And remember, at that point, the three of us were kind of like, I don't know.
I don't think so. Right. Yeah.
I don't know if I want that. But we got knee deep, had a couple people get sick, and we all was like, y'all know where to get an appointment? Y'all know where to get an appointment?
I drove 3 hours. I was online at 5 a.m. trying to get it at CVS and Walgreens.
Travel.
Yes, that's right. I traveled for the vaccine. That's right.
That is so true.
And we said, it's okay to change your mind. I think sometimes we as people get so stuck on putting a stick in the sand and saying, here we are, but it's okay to change your mind. I mean, I was just like that about boosters. I was like, now how many times I'm gonna get? And then I got a call from my daughter's school saying that she was exposed. And I was like, I need a booster. I need a booster. So within 24 hours, I was at the store getting a booster.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's true.
That's true. And I'm moving about, right?
Yeah. They're back
I'm moving about.
Activities. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't sit in the house, right? So you need some form of protection, the booster, the mask. Angelique's really good about what is the antibacterial if it's not glistening,
glistening for it to work.
If it's not glistening, you're not working.
You're not clean.
You're not clean. Being careful for yourself, right? Yeah. So that came with a lot of it. Another thing, as we were talking about work, going back to work, even the work-life balance, I found that I was working way too much at home. Even though
it's hard,
I haven't had to go in as much as say Angelique yet, but that's coming 2022. There's a date on the calendar. But I was not taking my breaks were not enough. Everything, I'm so close to the kitchen. I could start dinner, come back and do some more emails, do a deck, get on a call, have somebody call me, that sort of thing, get dinner, sit here, do it. I put a TV in the office, which was probably the worst thing to do because then I can watch a little TV and still do some work. And so I was like, man, I am not taking a break. Right. I am not
working 24 hours.
Yeah. And if I take a break, I'm like, where am I going? Because now it's getting cold too. Right. So I couldn't go for my walks anymore. Or, I'm not going to a mall or anything like that. But what do I do now so that I am not working 12 hours a day? Because you could if you want to.
Yeah, or even more.
And right at some point you get tired of vacuuming the floor too. Like I was like, I'm tired of vacuuming that floor. Right, I'm tired of fluffing the pillows over.
Or like when you told me you were walking around the house to get 10,000 steps, look crazy.
Yeah,
I know my neighbors are like, okay, he has lost it over there.
Yeah,
has lost it. Right, just trying to get 10,000 steps, just doing whatever.
That's hard, right?
In the house, right? It's in the house, or walk the dogs, which is probably the last thing I want to do. But but having some type of balance, like what does life look like? Just because things are open, but it's not like it used to be, right? We could go have dinners, we could go hang out. You guys could come over here. I could come. It's just not that anymore.
Not the same.
It is just different. And so how do you create a balance?
And I think not just from our perspective, but from our colleagues' perspective, they expect you to be available all the time. Like if you don't answer an email, like what could you possibly be doing that you can't answer my email?
That is true.
I purposely am not answering because I'm off work right now.
That boundary.
Well, in the same spot as I was when I was working.
Yeah, and I will say with this new job, I have, and somebody gave me this advice. They were like, so not that you don't need your email on your phone, right? That is what we do. We've been doing that for over a decade now. But she was like, if you don't need it, once you feel you need it, do it. But don't start off that way. Set some boundaries. And I was like, this is kind of nice. So I'm going into week 6 or so without email on my phone because I did fine. I was waking up at 5 a.m., checking my phone, checking an email, that sort of thing. So not to say that it won't happen. But that has saved me it has created some boundaries. Not that I'm not available. People can text me and they certainly do, but the email was not there because I'm sure I was spending an hour or more on my phone, checking emails, replying to little things versus kind of setting a manageable time within my day to be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah. And that's that's a great point is you have to set clear, exactly what I was going to say, create clear boundaries from work and boundaries as to what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Because one thing is you teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
In every situation. You teach people at work how to treat you. You teach people at home how to treat you. And so you have to set boundaries in your life, whether it's at work, at home, what's acceptable for you, what's not acceptable for you. And surprisingly, people will fall in line. They will
for sure.
absolutely fall in line, or they will fall on out and get back out in the parking lot again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You
It's their
teach people how to
choice,
treat
right?
you.
Yeah.
So it's important to be cognizant as to what you're accepting from people.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say one of the other things throughout we talked about authenticity was one of my favorite shows. And we talked about that and other shows too, but we had one specifically. And I think during this last year, just over the last, since the pandemic, not that I felt that I was authentic, right? That's always been, I've always been, I only know how to be me, right? Like that's always kind of been me. I don't know how to be anybody else. But then as things shift, you go, maybe I didn't like that so much. And this is what I really want to do, or this is what I really want to say, or this is really how I'd like it to be. And this is more in line with me or me being my authentic self. And I think that one of my favorite shows, but just more kind of sitting into that authenticity.
Like an aha.
Yeah, like a bit of an aha. And I also, it's interesting at work, people like you when you're at your most authentic.
They
do
love you when you're at your most authentic. And again, as a Black woman who has to code switch and all of that all the time, you still have to figure out a way to be your most authentic self. And I think I've kind of learned how to sit in that a little bit more and more consistently, I should say.
Yep, that's absolutely right. Because most people think they know what people expect, and that's why they start to act, different than what they really are inside. And that just causes even more stress.
Yes. Yeah. Something you can't maintain. You can't maintain that for very long.
You can't.
And you will
create more problems.
You nailed it. You'll be more successful in your home life, your work life, your marriage, relationship, your friendships, if you are your authentic self. And it's okay for everybody not to like that authentic self. Everybody's not for everybody. So that's what I've had to learn over time is everybody's not for everybody, and that's okay.
Not right.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
Not
but
everybody's cup of tea.
Being your authentic self is that's really one of our key things in Just for Girlfriends is that you come as your authentic self and you take off all your hats and we accept you for who you are. And please come be part of that sisterhood. Enjoy some self-care and let's have a good time, whatever that is.
Oh my gosh.
We do have a good time.
Amazing. And we do. And you would not know, who's the president or, who's the hairdresser. I mean, you just don't know what people do, and it's not important. You just appreciate people for who they are. And I really do like that,
Some memories from DMV are running through my head right about now.
Oh, look.
We're gonna have a lot.
I won't mention any, but it was fun. It was fun, folks. If you want to join, it was fun.
It was so much fun. It was so much gosh, so much fun.
And then we also went to Napa. We had a fun time in Napa doing all kinds of fun, crazy stuff. It was a long weekend. It was a whirlwind.
It was
great though. And it was our first time seeing each other in person, really,
it was. That is true.
And I loved how, taking into consideration how to be safe, but also have a good time. So it was wonderful. That was a great time. But I tell you, I'm looking forward to our trip this year. It's definitely a bucket list item for me. Glamping. I've always wanted to
luxury dude ranch.
Luxury dude ranch. I just went to a dude ranch, Michelle. Let me just say, I did. It was not luxury. It was not.
You didn't go to luxury.
It wasn't luxury. It's a whole different experience, right?
Yep. Yes, it is. The pictures are very different.
Very different. Yes.
Fun nonetheless, but it was
you didn't have a
yes, I'm looking forward to it. And I met a guy who was from Montana who grew up on a ranch, and he was saying how beautiful it's going to. Once we get there, he said the views are unbelievable. So he was really talking up Montana.
Right. I can imagine. I mean, just thinking, it's not industrialized. So Can you imagine how clear the atmosphere is going to be? It's going to be amazing.
Man, and we're going during James Beard weekend. So we're going to have some fabulous meals. And I know people are probably like, wait, you going to Dude Ranch? Or
Well, luxury Dude Ranch, Dude Ranch. That is the key. If you look up Dude Ranch, you might be like, no,
it's luxury Dude. But that goes to the point of, the way we structure our events is we always want to do things that you might not otherwise do yourself. We do unique and engaging events, things that you're out of your comfort zone, things you maybe remember. We went to a gastronomic experience and we had
that was great. That was great.
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah.
That was what did we have? The French fries and ice cream, right? French fries and ice cream.
French fries and ice cream.
It is an oxymoron, I'm telling you. It is, yeah.
You would think so, but it's one of those once in a lifetime.
It's gonna be great.
It's not something we're gonna try to do every summer, but it's a once in a lifetime thing.
And I think the other thing is that whatever we do, whether it's a luxury Dude Ranch or Napa, or if it is just meeting for brunch, right? We do that, or Sunday chats we have, our mimosa chat times, that sort of thing.
Oh, our virtual event.
Yeah, virtual events. We have a ton of fun. We have much fun. I think we laugh so much in the DMV. That they had to knock on our door and tell us to stop laughing. We just have we have a good time. I think that is the key, that we just have a great time, and it's memories that will never fade, right?
Absolutely. And laughter is good for the soul. It really is. You know what I mean? Nothing seems as important or as stressful after a good laugh. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, I can deal with this now.
It's funny you talk about memories. So we're now upon the holiday season and everyone's thinking about giving gifts and all that. But I always love to give experiential gifts, because to me, experiences, you can take that to the grave. I can't now, don't get me wrong, husband, if you're listening, I'm okay with diamonds and all that stuff. But
we all are.
We all are.
We all are.
But it's really those experience gifts. So usually my husband and I, we say, forget the physical items. Let's surprise each other with an experience gift. So, and it doesn't always have to be something crazy. So you all know my favorite food is pizza. Last year, well, no, not last year because it was pandemic, the year before we could still go outside, we did a Chicago pizza tour and I had a ball, and it was a big surprise. Didn't know it. I had a ball.
I love that. Yeah.
For him, y'all know he likes to drink. So I took him, not that he's an alcoholic, but he loves experience drinking.
He likes a cocktail. Yeah.
He likes a cocktail. So I took him to a mixology class at a place in Chicago that's kind of an underground mixology class. So it's a fun experience. So as people, you're out there thinking about gift giving, I always encourage you to think of tickets, experiences, things that, whether it's a massage, something that people will remember for the end of time, not that will get old and you eventually throw it out.
Yeah. And I'm learning that as my kids get older. That is the same. And I think was it you I was talking to, Angelique, about this, about what do you get them when they're in their 20s? And they like flights and,
Southwest gift card,
bills or what have you. So giving those types of gifts. So we're doing a vacation this holiday. Just because that doesn't happen that much. Just for you all who have younger kids, once they get in their 20s, it's kind of harder to pull everybody together. But giving experiences has been something that I've had to learn to do. And I will tell you, I thought it wasn't going to be as easy, but I hated going to the mall, into the stores anyway. So it's a lot of internet surfing, but it seems to be a lot better. People appreciate it more thoughtful, really.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And like you said, things they forget, especially even kids now. They have fun for a couple of days and then they don't even know where the stuff is. So,
I do not miss going through Toys R Us catalogs, Michelle. I do not miss any of that. Yeah.
We were cleaning out and pulled out some toys from last Christmas that they never had even opened. So I was like, oh, good, I'm going to wrap this up for y'all again this year.
That is so funny.
They were like, no, mommy.
Right. That's funny. I love it.
Yeah.
That is how it is. So
and it's interesting. It goes from all this stuff till like 3 things. Like, what do you get them? What do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
Somebody said run it back.
Exactly.
Run it back.
Right.
What,
Or re-gifted. I need to do some of that.
Yeah.
But as we reflect upon this 2021, I also want to thank blackdoctor.org because it's been an amazing, amazing platform, and I'm so glad that they've asked us back for another year. That will be we're not stopping. So yay. I want to tell both of you that I love you more than anything. This has been so much fun. Anybody out there in LA land, we're ready to come and do a live on a stage.
That's right. We're ready.
I'm hoping we can do that.
We are prepped.
In 2022 some point. All 3 of us be in the same room and
that is true as well.
Around the table, around on some bar stools or something. Yeah. We just don't know, what.
Yeah. This has been a great outlet when we talk about what has happened over the year. Getting ready for this at once a month and this coming around. And actually, I will say, because I've been wearing leggings for 2 years at this point, and and a shirt to be on Zoom for work, but to like put on a little bit of a makeup, come talk to you guys, put on some nice earrings. That has been a joy to be able to do over the year as well, to plan it, talk it, see all the great people that have come through. I was also reflecting on my shopping show as I ordered my cakes, as I was sending links out to people, that sort of thing, but just reminiscing on just all the wonderful women and a few men that have come through here for us. Like we are.
Oh yeah, the men. What do women want show? Forgot about that.
Women want show. And the part 2 is coming, to my understanding.
Part 2 is coming.
Right? Yeah, but it's
a very popular show.
Yeah, there's been some amazing people. Yeah,
Lynn says she would love to meet you. She should come to our Christmas. We're having a Christmas party. Are you in Chicago, Lynn? What city are you in? Let us know where you are. You definitely will have an opportunity to meet us.
Yeah, for sure.
Would absolutely love to meet you, Lynn. And Barbara, thank you, Barbara. She said, we find funny and fabulous. I love it.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
We appreciate you for tuning in. Please share. Yeah, please share. We're trying to
share and like.
Yeah,
like and share. Lynn's in Orlando.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind.
We'll keep that in mind for sure.
But Lynn, go to the website and make sure you join our mailing list. We'd love for you to join J4G. We do have virtual events monthly, and we all get on in a private setting. And it's just as crazy as this, but we're obviously we're not in the show, so there's plenty of ways for you to be part of Just for Girlfriends. And then you can always fly and meet us in Atlanta when we go for our recruiting trip. We had people come from all over the country to DMV. We landed in DMV on Friday with 3 members. We left with about 25 and had a live area. So we have multiple opportunities around the country for you to come meet us and obviously participate virtually.
Absolutely.
So ladies,
highly recommend it.
So what are we doing in 2022? Because this show don't stop.
Yeah. What's happening?
We have some very interesting topics coming up. We're going to be talking to everybody. Like I said, we're bringing the men back.
Yeah.
To do a deep dive into what's going on with the men. And you know what I'm looking for? The introverts. How do you recognize and appreciate the introverts in your life? So I am looking forward, to that show. Actually, January, we're kicking off the new you. Everybody wants to make some changes, set some goals, and January is generally the time when you do that. So, we're going to be talking to some people who have changed their life, they have actually done it instead of just say they're going to do it. We're going to see what the secret is to that. Oh my God, what other stuff are we doing? I know we're going to have like a cooking show.
Yeah, we're going to do a cooking show. I think we're trying to get together for that one, right?
Yeah, we're going to do that in person. Where we're going to learn how to cook, when you got to do some quick entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We have some fun things. I'm really looking forward to January. So everyone, please come in January, because that's one of those things where sometimes you feel like you get a certain age and you feel stuck. Like, you can't do anything different. This is, I'm stuck here because this is the choices that I made and this is where I am in life. And if we secure the guest that we're thinking of securing, you're going to hear a story of that adult that said, you know what, I'm not stuck. And the world is my oyster, and I'm going to try something different. And I think that's something that we all need to. I mean, even like I said, all of us, there are times you just got to say, you know what? And it's not about throwing caution to the wind, because you still do it cautiously, but you embrace the new and say, you know what? I can do something different, whatever that different is.
Yeah, it's sort of like manifesting. That's a common theme, right?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, you manifest. But like you said, it's never too late to chase your dreams, you know? Go for it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that show too. At every show, I learned something that I apply. So I'm sure, next year will be no different. We'll have something for everyone.
And our audience, if you have a topic that you'd like to hear, that you'd like us to talk about, bring a guest on, please put it in the chat, or you can email us, you can direct message us. Michelle runs all of Just for Girlfriends social media. She will get back to you immediately. Please let us know. We are always willing to take suggestions from our audience. We love you. We would not be here who we are without you. So we absolutely love you and love the engagement. Lynn, I know I've seen you on here before, so love the engagement.
Yes, I love it. That's great. I think we're going to do a show, a pop-up that's dedicated to, coming up with show ideas. Yeah, so there'll be some raffles and some prizes for the most creative ideas. So yeah, with the more to come on that. So yes, please let us know what do you want to hear more of? What do you want to learn about? What are you curious about? Drop it in the chat. Yeah. We'd love to highlight that for you. And you never know, if we pick your topic, it might be something special in there for you. So give us some ideas. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, ladies,
so what are you ladies looking forward to mostly in 2022, ladies?
That's a good question. I think that for me, I'm going to be really doing some personal development type stuff. I don't know what form it's going to take. Hopefully it'll be taking this live and to a network, or something. That'd be great.
But we'll never abandon Black Doctor. We'll still be here though.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I get room for everybody. Yeah, got enough room.
You got room for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. What about you, Angelique?
For 2022, I am looking forward to seeing where J4G will go, because we have already expanded quite a bit. And, this started off as 7 women to now 150 women across the country, sponsors, a show, just it's going in different places than I would ever have imagined. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we all can do, because this is us. This is, so I love working with all of you, and just we're building an empire, and I want to see where this empire is going to go.
Very exciting.
It's a sisterhood.
Right.
J4G belongs to all of its members.
Yeah, Barbara is opening up a private practice for women of color. That's definitely
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Barbara. I love it.
Yeah. We'll be rooting for you 2022.
It's amazing.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, there's all kind of magic happening. So
Barbara, please consider joining J4G. We would love to learn more about that and kind of get you involved in our sisterhood.
Absolutely. Would love to. Barbara, where are you? Where are you joining us from?
Link is scrolling across, www.justforgirlfriends.com. Link is right there, scrolling across the screen. Just for Girlfriends.
ATL,
be there.
Be there.
I love it. Barbara, we're coming to Atlanta in February. We're doing a whole
join our newsletter. Yeah. Click the link and get the newsletter so that you'll find out when we'll be there. Oh my gosh. Great. Thank you.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Well, ladies, oh my gosh, I have just thoroughly enjoyed this past hour, as I usually do. And like you said, this is goodbye for 2021. We'll see you all in January. Will be the first Tuesday of every month throughout 2022. Please come back and watch. Join us. Like I said, go to the website and join the newsletter so you can stay up to date on everything that Just for Girlfriends is doing. And follow us on social media, where we'll be doing all kinds of fun things over there. And you'll also make sure that you don't miss anything. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Holidays.
See you next year.
Until next year.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. All of that.
All of that.